friends, I am going out on a date with my husband for the first time in just about forever, and I'm about to do my full extra go all out makeup routine, and I thought I would record it in case anyone needs help in knowing how to apply SeneGence products, because they do go on a little bit different, some of them, than traditional makeup products. So I'm starting with a bare face minus my I have my eye cream on. Let me grab that. This one's called Eyelumimator, and it's an eye cream that has a little bit of the Pearlizer in it. So it just adds a little bit of luminosity to your under eye area to just kind of brighten the under eye area a little bit. And then I also already have on just my dry daytime moisturizer all over my face and my neck. And I have my filters turned all the way off, so what you see is what you get, for better or worse. And I'm going to start by putting my hair back. And I'm going to start off with SeneGence Color Correcting Tinted Moisturizer. And it's just what it says. It's a moisturizer, but it's tinted. So I put it on like I do a lotion, just kind of all over my face. You could use a foundation brush if you prefer to apply makeup with brushes. And one thing that I love about SeneGence products, I use mostly SeneGence products. I started using them probably around 6 years ago, I'd say. And I started with their, and I'm just using a little bit, I started with their BlushSense, which is their long-lasting lip color that doesn't smudge or budge or waterproof, kiss-proof, all that. And I was at work and I had won a free SeneGence BlushSense from my friend who was selling them. And I was sampling different, just kind of testing different colors on my wrist. I was a server at the time, so I washed my hands about 100 times during that shift. And at the end of my long shift, the color was still there. So that's what initially got me interested in SeneGence products. If you are saying, Monique, you already put color correcting tinted moisturizer in that spot, that's because I forgot, because I'm really bad at multitasking. So I decided to hit some of it again just in case I missed a spot. And this is nice because you can layer it like that. It goes on thin, but if you need a little more coverage, you can build it up in the areas that you need. So I start with that. It's super lightweight, makes your skin feel super soft and silky. And I start with that. It's just a very light coverage. And then I go in with my concealer for any of the areas that need a little more coverage. So it used to come in a bottle like this, and when I get down to the bottom, I just cut the end off. You can do this with any product, not even just SeneGence, obviously. Am I the only one that just discovered that in like the last couple of years? So anyway, so I just cut off the bottom to get access to more product there. But I actually have a new one in the other room, and it's in an airless pump. Like it's in like this kind of a pump where it squeegees the bottom as it goes up, so you don't lose any product as it comes out, which I like a lot better. I'm just trying to use up the last of this old one before I switch to that. And so it doesn't waste any product, and so it saves you a lot of money. Okay, so I'm putting that on as thick as I need to cover. I have really thin skin around my eyes, so my veins show very prominently, but I really like how this makes it almost invisible. Like with the zits and stuff like that, it makes them look invisible, but my veins kind of protrude a little bit. So there's no completely making them invisible, but it looks so much better. And then I have some discoloration here that I like to get with the concealer. And then I have a little sunspot there that I'm working on with the SeneGence sells a brightening cream that will take that out over time. But while I'm waiting, I like to cover it with concealer. I think those are the main spots. So I'll move on to their translucent, or actually I use the light color loose powder. And I just have generic crappy brushes, so you probably don't want to ask me for any recommendations on those. So I like how it contains the powder in here, and then if you get too much, you have a clean surface to kind of dab it off on. And this is the light color. They have a translucent and some darker shades as well. This is light. And anyway, what I was saying, one thing that I love about SeneGence products is that all of them, at least all the cream-based ones, which are most of their products, contain Seneplex Plus, which is their proprietary ingredient. It's an anti-aging ingredient, and it's in all of their skincare. And so their makeup has skincare properties to it, which is one of the things that I love about it. It's not going to clog your pores, and it's not going to cause you to break out. It's essentially skincare. So if you fall asleep with it on or whatever, not a big deal. Okay, same thing with the concealer. This is their blush in the old packaging. The new packaging is a little tiny tube like this. Oh, here's the new concealer. Anyway, so it's comes in this tube now, and it squeegees the edge as you use their precision pump. And the nice thing about this too is that you can get a very precise amount out, where this you kind of have to squeeze, and sometimes you get too much. I didn't mean to flip you off. So anyway, you really don't need a lot of this product. It's very highly pigmented, and so just that little dab is enough for that whole cheek there. And makeup application is, you know, just what you want it to be, but I like to do with blush, kind of a bigger portion here, and then kind of like a bigger dot there, and kind of work it in here a little bit to blend it, and then just kind of blend it up into my cheekbone to give it more of a lifted look. See, so I was squeezing this and I got that much out, and that little bit is way too much. So now I have to kind of like suck it back in there. So I love the new pump a lot better. So I'll use what I need with this finger, and then once I think I have too much, I'll switch to another finger to blend it so I don't keep adding more and more product. This color is called Terra Cotta. It's my personal favorite. It gives kind of like a peachy color. Toasted Rose is another popular one if you like a slightly more purpley color. Pouty Pink is a good one for kind of like a blush pink, but more pink than peach. Okay, so I have my blush blended, and all of these products lend themselves nicely to either fingertip or brush application. And I kind of use a mix, mostly fingers, a little bit of brush. For example, Their eyeshadow is a cream, and that threw me off for a while and caused me to not even try it for the longest time. But then I did, and I love it. So you can apply it in multiple ways. You can use the brush itself as long as you scrape off the excess. And so just scrape off the extra. And you can use the brush itself. I like to brighten that inner corner and go above my crease, and then kind of like lift with the lighter color at the tip, at the end there. And this one's Sandstone Pearl Shimmer. They also have a Sandstone Pearl glitter. That might have been a limited edition one though, I can't remember. I personally like the shimmer a little better than the glitter because it's not as like overpoweringly glittery, that actually has little tiny, you know, like glitter flakes. This is more of like a just, it kind of shimmers in the light, which I don't have very good lighting. I'll have to work on that. So ignore my, I'm just kind of dabbing because I got a little much there. So yeah, you could use your fingertips or on this next one, so, or a brush like this. This is a good eyeshadow brush where it's kind of rounded. And you just get the product on like this and then sweep it across like that. So this is good for blending it out, just depending on the look that you're going for. Okay, and then this one's Snow. It's a pretty bright white, but I really like my inner corners. Oh darn it, I forgot to wash off my extra blush. Okay, but this should cover that. So I'm using this white, this Snow White in my inner corner, and it looks a little scary at first, but then you just blend it out, and then after I finish the rest of it, it'll look a lot less like stark. Okay, so I have my Snow, my Sandstone Pearl, and then I like to go in with a darker color for my upper lid or crease area, and it's slightly darker. It's called Moca Java. It's a nice light brown. And for this one, same thing, you could use the applicator it comes with or your fingertip. I personally like to use a eyeshadow brush that has a slight angle to it so that I can, I'm just dabbing it on there, so I can get down in here. That can be tricky to get with just a regular rounded brush or your fingers, but I'm sure you can make it work. And go across my upper lid there. And all these eyeshadows are just like the LipSense that I told you about, where they start out like a cream, but once they set and dry, which takes, I don't know, maybe a minute or so, then they don't budge or smudge or bleed into each other at all. So the tricky thing though is, like if I keep my eyes open a lot like this, then it's going to crease in there because the product hasn't dried and set yet. But if I can kind of keep my eyes closed a little bit, if you can just do your makeup with your eyes closed, then it'll help it not to get in your crease before it's totally set up. So sometimes I'll just kind of like make sure there's no excess product in that crease area and let it dry for a second before I open my eyes too much. And then I like to take a little bit of this Moca Java and just go right under, not too low or else you're gonna look like you have circles under your eyes, but just right under my lashes to help kind of make my eyes a little bit more of a smoky look. Okay, I'm gonna pause there and get my daughter down from her high chair. Okay, I'm back, and the next thing I'm gonna use is Pearlizer, and I don't know how to describe it other than it just makes any area that it's on just kind of glow. So I like to add it to the apples of my cheeks, and it helps kind of make your cheekbones pop in the sunlight or when you get a picture taken. I like to put it there. And then I also like to use it to kind of add some shape to my nose. This is obviously completely optional because all makeup is optional. And then I'll also like it up here on my brow bone to accentuate that a little bit. And it just kind of helps give your skin a more luminous look. It's hard to tell in this lighting. Anyway, so that's Pearlizer. This is just a little tester size. It comes in a bigger bottle. Okay, and then another thing that I do while I still have my Moca Java on my brush is I kind of just bring in the shape of my nose a little bit, like that. I know I should just be in love with the shape of my nose, but I just like the way that makes the top part look a little less wide. You can skip this part if you want to. And if you want to do more, like carve out cheekbones, this is a good color for adding like just some kind of shadowing under your cheekbone there to kind of add a more lifted look and make your cheekbones a little bit more pronounced. Like this. If you're not sure where to do it, just kind of stick in your cheeks. And then do it a little bit higher than where they're naturally at if you're trying to add a lift. And if you're feeling pale, you can kind of add a little more there. Or you can take a darker color of the color correcting tinted moisturizer if you're into like kind of doing more of a contour thing where you would make it darker here and kind of do a 3. I don't really get into that too much. Okay, and then SeneGence has a white pencil, but I do not have a white SeneGence pencil, so I just use this like super cheap, I don't even know how to say it, it's like NYX or whatever. And because it's just a super cheap one, this ends up wearing off. So I will be getting a SeneGence one sooner than later. But I just like to whiten my waterline, which technically you're not supposed to put makeup on for eye health reasons, so don't try that at home unless you really want to. And then this is also just a super cheap black one because I actually want this to be kind of smudgy. Which I could also do with SeneGence's black pencil liner, but I just don't have one right now. I gave it to my sister because she needed one. Okay, so I do that, and then to kind of make my eyes pop more, well, let me come back to that. I'll move on to brows. SeneGence has a brow gel that I have not tried. I would love to try it, but I have a ton of these. It's called Tap Brow, and I saw an ad once. I thought it looked awesome, and so I got several, and they messed up the order, and so they sent several more. So I have like a lot of these. So I will not be trying brow gel until all of these are gone. But I do really like this product. This is one that their most advertised brow product actually has like 3 prongs to it instead of this precision tip. So this is their Micro Precision Brow Pen in dark brown. And I really like it because I like that the product's like in the brush. But the 3-pronged one that they advertise the most, that you might, maybe you've seen, or maybe now that I've said it, it's gonna magically pop up on your advertisements. That one just gets clogged. Like, I love it, but I use it like twice and then there's no flow of product. So this one takes longer because you only have one little thing going, one little brush to do every stroke that you want. But it lasts a lot longer. Like, one of these will probably last me like, I don't know. I hardly do my makeup anymore, so like several months. If I did my makeup every day, then maybe like a month. So this is also like waterproof, budge proof. I'm sure it doesn't have skincare in it like all of SeneGence products do. The nice thing about the SeneGence brow gel too is that it has, I don't even know how to pronounce the name of the ingredient, so I'm not going to try, but it has an ingredient in it that helps you grow brows. So if you don't have brows or they're thinner than you want, you can use their brow gel and it will help restore your hair growth on your eyebrows. Okay, so now I'm just taking a little spoolie brush and blending that out so it's not quite so intense. And I'll do the same on the other side. I kind of wiggle it back and forth if there's a particularly dark spot that needs blended. And I'll see that I kind of like have a gap there and that I need to fill a little better. So I'll go back in there and blend that out. Okay. Then what I do next is curl my lashes. This is just a inexpensive Tweezerman lash curler. I used to have one that I loved and I can't find it anymore. So if you have one you love, let me know. This one's fine. It just takes a little longer and requires more pumps to, it doesn't seem to hold this long. Okay, so I curl my lashes and then I do, this has kind of been my signature look since like junior high, is the thin liquid liner. My go-to is L'Oreal Paris Carbon Black Telescopic. And you can do this same look with SeneGence products, but I really love this applicator, this thin little tiny felt tip applicator. So I could just, I'm sure, buy a brush that's like that dip it in Onyx is the darkest. I don't have one near me, but Onyx is SeneGence's black liner, or eyeshadow I should say. And you can use it for eyeliner, which is what a lot of people do. So I like to keep it pretty thin myself, just so it's not like this super bold look. I like the definition of a liquid liner, but I don't like it to be too bold on me, at least for everyday wear. Okay, another tip. I used to take this and kind of squint my eye and follow my natural kind of crease out. But I looked back in pictures and saw someone else use a different technique and realized it was like kind of giving me a saggy eye look. So what I do now is I just imagine extending my lower line out to my eyebrow like that. And so I follow that imaginary line out to the tip of my eyebrow. So from here to, and it depends on how wild you want to get. I'm going to go a little more than halfway since I'm going out tonight. So now I've got this funky line there, but then I just kind of curve the bottom in to it. And sorry about that. My phone totally filled up and I had to go free up space real quick. Story of my mom life. I just fill up my phone with cute videos of my kids every day. Anyway, I think it cut off the part where I finished my other eye. And I think it also cut off the part where I was kind of rambling while I was doing my other eye, just kind of telling you some of the benefits of the Cineplex Plus that is in all of SeneGence's skincare products and makeup cosmetics. So it increases moisture and hydration by 54.2%, increases skin firmness and elasticity by 51.9%, decreases skin sagging by 25%, increases skin luminosity by 48.7%, reduces fine lines and wrinkles by 55.7%, and increases collagen synthesis by 168%. So that ingredient is in all of their skincare and cosmetics. All of those statements have been verified by a third-party clinic lab that does all of their clinical testing, and they do use different ones. So I love that it's from a third-party source. Like, those are the blind results of an 8-week period of time across a variety of applicants that they were doing their testing on. So anyway, that's just another reason why I love SeneGence. Okay, I believe I was, oh, another hack is, when you weren't looking, I put my primer and my mascara in my shirt, and it helps warm it up to make it go on a lot more smoothly. So I'll start with my primer. And this is SeneGence Undersense 3-in-1 Lash Primer. I honestly don't remember what the three things are. Oh, actually now I do. It lengthens your lashes. It adds volume to your lashes, and it does both of those immediately, and smooths and conditions them like immediately. But then another thing I love about it is I like to get really close to the base of my lashes, because it has an ingredient in it that I can't pronounce. So I don't even see it and I won't waste your time. I'll look it up later, or you can ask me later if you have a question on it. But anyways, it has an ingredient in it that actually helps your lashes to grow. Both their lash primer and their mascara has it in it, and it helps your lashes to get nice and long. I do also use a serum as well. My lashes are not normally this long. And I like to put on a really thick coat of this. And I think it took about 6 weeks of using their eye products to notice the difference, if I remember correctly. I've tried a few different serums. I've tried SeneGence's, which I love. I've tried, what's it called? Latisse, which is a prescription for old ladies with glaucoma. And they realized all these old ladies with glaucoma are getting these luscious lashes. Oh, it's from their glaucoma medication. Anyway, so I've tried that, and that also works. And I've also lately been doing a split test of Latisse versus Babe Lash. So far, I think Latisse might be winning, but all three of those have performed very well because my natural lashes are pretty stubby. So this is from a combination of trying different serums and using the primer and their mascara, which has, is it Salaxifol? Someone help me out here. It has an ingredient in it that helps grow your lashes. Anyway, okay, I'm going to let this dry and set before I put my mascara on. So I'm just going to leave that on there while I move to my lips. And so this is LipSense. You want to shake it before you use it. And then you're supposed to do 3 super thin layers, but I'm going to line my lips, which I often like to do with a darker color, but I don't have one nearby, so I'll just show you what I would do. And just know that this first step I usually like to do with a little bit darker shade, like their nude color is a little bit darker than this one. This one is Nude Honey. It's my favorite right now. So I'm going to line my lips with it and then fill it in, and that'll be 1 layer. Okay, so that's one, and you want to let it dry before you touch your lips together or before you add a second layer, just for like 5 to 10 seconds so it's not tacky anymore. And this is if you want like optimal wearing time, which is up to 18 hours, and I've honestly even got longer than that out of it. If you don't care if it lasts all day and you like the way it looks after 1 shade, you can stop there, but here's what you're supposed to do. Okay, so there's 2 layers, and I'm trying not to like go over the same spot with the second layer, if that makes sense. So like I'm trying to get, if my lips were thin, I could just go and just do it all in 1 swoop, but they've gotten a little fuller since using SeneGence for 6 years, so now I have to do it in 2 swoops, not including the lining. And this last one, I feel like they're lined well enough, so I'm just going to, well, actually they're not. Oh well, I'll just do it without lining them this time though. Okay, and there's my third layer. So while I'm letting that dry, I'll move back to the mascara. And it's nice and warm, so it should go on nice and smooth. And this is also buildable. So if you're happy there, you can stop there. If you want them to look even longer, you come back to it. This also comes in multiple colors. This one's just black. If you're going for more subtle look, I would do a brown, but I like the way black makes my eyes kind of pop more. And I like the way that looks. But I'll honestly probably add one more layer, but I won't make you wait for that. So when I'm done videoing, I'll probably go in and add one more layer. Just to the top ones. The bottom ones I just kind of do it quick. Okay. Alright, so there's my mascara. And now this is nice and dry. So, oh, before I add my gloss, I want to show you how, make sure I have clean hands. This is why I love SeneGence. Not a drop is on my finger. Let me grab a white shirt. So this is the shirt that I'm wearing tonight. And I feel that confident that it won't come off. That's why I love SeneGence. So like if you're wearing a mask, for pandemic reasons or job reasons or otherwise, your lips will look the same after you take it off, even after several hours. And it won't kiss off or smudge off. Waterproof. Okay, so then the gloss. This is a special gloss that's formulated to penetrate through the layer, the color layers, and still be able to hydrate your lips through the smudge-proof color layers. This one's just glossy. It's my favorite because it's the most, they're all nourishing, but this one's the most hydrating and nourishing for your lips. But I do also have, if I'm looking for more of a matte finish, my favorite one for that is called Satin Matte. But they also have different colored ones, but those are not like, the color does transfer off because it's a gloss. So that's why I like the clear, because part of the point of SeneGence for me is to not have makeup transferring onto clothes or my children or whatever. Okay, so that's it for my face. And then I'm going to do one more hack that I've recently discovered, and for better or worse, I parted my hair on the side for like 20 years and it looked fine, and I would gradually pluck grays as they grew in. But then recently I've been experimenting with a so much more dramatic look. Don't I look so much different when it's down the middle? Anyway, so I wanted to try parting it down the middle, but it revealed like 20 years worth, a crop of grays that have been hiding there for subtly 20 years. And I don't like it. And I haven't dyed my hair since like high school, and I don't want to start yet. Maybe ever, we'll see. But in the meantime, while I'm deciding what I want to do or not do, I use a dark color of SeneGence's ShadowSense, their eye makeup. Okay, sorry, my husband's home now, yay. So what I was saying is that I use ShadowSense, which is SeneGence's eyeshadow, in a dark color. This one is Rustic Brown. And I just use like a stiff makeup brush. I don't even know what kind it is. Is this like a contouring brush or something? I don't know. And then I just take some of the product like that. And then put the lid on. And then I just kind of work it in here, just kind of dab it, brush it on. And my goal isn't to like completely hide every gray hair at all, but I'm just looking to like take the edge off. And I could add more to make it, I don't know, so whatever you want to do. And I don't get super picky with like some random long ones in there. Long one. But you could, just like that. You just want to blend it, just make sure it goes on really thin. And then I'll do the same to the other side. And this sheet doesn't match my hair exactly, but it's not that big of a deal because it just kind of looks like I have some natural highlights or streaks in it. But I feel like it's close enough where it does its job. Okay. So I personally like the way that looks a lot better. So I just kind of let that dry for a minute or so. And then I brush. Oh, one more hack for you. Any of these tubes, any tube products, SeneGence or not, the tube is designed to like scrape excess product off when you take it out. But if it gets to be old and you're kind of scraping the bottom to get more product out, I just like straight up have pliers in my makeup bag, in my makeup drawer, and you can pull. I'll have to do a video sometime when I actually need to do it. Well, I'll just do it on here. So you can actually pull that stopper out, and then you can access a whole lot more product because the wand will now have more reach, but it won't be scraping off the excess as you're pulling it out. So anyway, there's that hack for you. It can lengthen my use of my ShadowSense like double. I'll be like, oh, it's time to throw this away, and then I pull that out, and then I can use it for like another few months even. Okay, so there's that. Anyway, so this is dry now. Now that it's dry, I'll go ahead and like kind of brush it through so it's not like there's not just like this block of color. And then just like their other products, like I can run my fingers through it and not have it get all on my fingers. Like it's not 100% with this, just because it's not designed for this. I just like made this up myself. But like I can touch my hair, run my fingers through it, and not have like, there's very, like it's not 100%. Like if you look close, there's like a tiny bit, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not completely foolproof, this little hack, but it's close enough where like I'm fine with it, you know? And I tried other products. I don't know if I have them in here still. That were like designed. Oh, I do. That were designed to do this, like no gray, quick fix. I don't even know who makes this. And I used it and it just gets all over my fingers and my shirts and whatever. So anyway, I've liked this much, much better, and it just kind of takes the edge off my aging. I like it when other people age gracefully into cute little old ladies, but I'm not ready quite yet. I'll get there. Anyway, that I am now ready. I need to put my outfit on and I'll be ready to go. Feel free to comment below with any questions, comments, DM me. I'm working on getting a website up. It's not ready yet, so in the meantime, if there's anything you want to order, just message me and I'll get you a copy of the pricing and all that. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay, so I'm ready. I need to go get my outfit on, but that's my look for the evening. And if you have any questions, comments, if you want to order anything that is SeneGence, let me know. If you want links to anything else, I don't get a cut or anything, but I'm happy to get you links to any non-SeneGence products that you're interested in. And let me know if you have any questions. DM me, comment below. Have a great day. If you can't do your makeup now, just save this for later.